Hi, it's Ronnie. So this video is late for two reasons. One, I wasn't able to film last night because I was with some people, and two, I couldn't think of a talent. I spent days thinking, and I don't really have a performing talent. I realized that I'm good at things that you can't really showcase, so I figured, forget, I'm gonna make something that I'm good at into a performing talent, and so here's me dramatically reading the intro to a story I wrote. The story was started a really long time ago. I think it was about 7 months, and now it's 12 chapters, but it's still not done. I had to rewrite an entire religion and the rules of the universe book, so don't get mad at me that it's not finished yet. Proceeding, here is my story. Soap Lake, a population 500 town in Oregon, where wild grasses grow, all the fences are chain link, and the sunset is distorted further every day with pollution from cities beyond miles of vast forests and electricity lines. My mother had gone into unemployment and been evicted from our inner city apartment, and figured that small town life would prove more prosperous than our previous living arrangements. And with 7 children and no husband, life down the road appeared desolate and barren. I suppose that I can't blame her for moving here. It was inevitable that we would abandon California, and I can't say that I really regret it. I was entrapped in apathy, so to say. My mother drove the junkie van past a small sign, nearly secluded by the underbrush and vines that had crawled up its hind legs, visible to the parts yellowing with age, moss growing on the north side, reading "Welcome to Soap Lake." I sighed. My twin sat next to me, tapping her foot as always, her hair swishing with the vibrations. Her hair was the same shade as mine, dark brown, bordering on black, coarse in texture, though she kept hers longer and neater than mine. Her eyes were the same Caligula's brown. Her skin was almost the same as mine, though hers had more tan tones throughout it. My skin pigmentation was more resembling of strawberry milk, at least during the winter. During the summer, it adopted a tan tone, melanin breaking through the layers. We weren't polar opposites in our personalities. Our voices were rarely divergent of the others, though. Mine was gravelly, and I'd always seemed to adopt a matter-of-fact tone. Hers was honey-sweet, light, and came mostly from her upper throat. Our word choice was also different. She had all the linguistic eloquence of, well, a teenager who grew up where we did. I had the vocabulary of a college-bound writer, or at least in my head I did. I wasn't nearly as lucid in practice, but I doubt that she had such a strong grasp on language even in her mindscape. I think if there's one thing you need to know about why all us Jackson kids look the way we do, it's that we have terrible bone structure and weight distribution. This is a language that finds its way through the interracial relationships my mother has conceived from. My mom has undoubtedly the most desirable figure of all 3 girls in the family, a sweet pear-shaped figure that's flattering at a healthy weight. The Trinity, I believe, is built better than me, more mature and well-endowed, but at 16 and 5'3", I'm still flat-chested and not a curve in sight, ribs countable and hip bones concerning enough, I'd like to think. I have retained the body of a child. All the boys looked like those starving, piteous children you see in guilt-tripping African commercials. No distribution to their legs or upper arms. At least the younger ones do. The older ones have become infatuated with the muscle culture. I can't really see the appeal. There's something very gothic about it that I can't put my finger on. We went to a psychic for fun one time, just a little hole-in-the-wall thing, and she described it as a curse of our mother's misdeeds passed down to us. That being a bastard child condemns you to having a body that betrays you, as if you could control whether or not there was a ring on your mother's finger when you were conceived, or who that ring belonged to. We brushed it off as nonsense meant to appeal to the more religious of society, but I'd be arrogant in thinking of myself too sound-minded to say that I didn't linger like an apparition, enough for reflecting on my blood relatives. Back to the story. And on that note, I'm ending this. Goodbye for now. Read the description for my other social media, plus credit for my thumbnail.